one of the first things we have to do is to define our own superpowers. Now, what do I mean by a superpower? When I started coaching and mentoring and leading people, even before I had my own coaching business, what I found was that we'd focus somewhat on the strengths. And a lot of you maybe have done strengths finders and some of the other tools that are out there to help encourage us to focus on strengths. But when we started talking about strengths, inevitably, the conversation would go somewhere else. Any guesses? Weaknesses. Yeah, the conversation kind of went something like this. Well, I'm not sure where my strengths are, but my spouse can sure tell you all my weaknesses. But when we spend time on weaknesses, we get dragged down. We feel less than. We feel undervalued. We feel we're not good enough. And there is actually really interesting research done by Marcus Buckingham and the people that have done tons of strengths research that says that if you have an extra hour a week and you spent it invested in your weaknesses, you might get incremental growth. But if you had that extra hour and you spent it working in an area you're already strong in, you're going to get substantial growth. So I abandoned talking about strengths only. And then one of the things that I did in working with organizations on developing their talent and identifying up-and-coming talent was we looked at the competencies that organizations put out there. Anybody have a competency model or a skill set or things in their organizations, maybe even on a job profile? When you look at those and then you look at people who succeed, do the characteristics of the people who succeed always match the things that are in the competency model and the job profiles? Not always. I have yet to see a competency model that has sense of humor, ability to care, wisdom to know the difference, is always the devil's advocate. There are things that are about us, uniquely about us, and the individual that we are, that makes a difference for us in our work. These things, combined with your skills and your talents and your technical knowledge and your experience and your relationships and your resources, to me, all of that together becomes your superpowers. So I want you to recognize what your superpowers are. Because also, doesn't it sound like fun? Wouldn't you like to have some superpowers from time to time?